All right, Fergie, this morning, Time magazine is revealing its annual list of the 100 most influential people in the world. The 2018 Time 100 list includes world leaders, newsmakers, athletes and entertainers, of course, actresses Nicole Kidman, Jennifer Lopez, and Tiffany Haddish. Go, you all are featured on 3 of the 6 special covers. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella, tennis star Roger Federer, and Me Too movement founder Tarana Burke are on the other 3. Time editor-in-chief Edward Felsenthal joins us in Studio 57 at the table for the first time. Why? Because this is your first time as editor-in-chief. Congrats and go you,
Thanks.
Edward
Thanks.
Felsenthal. We're delighted you're here. So what makes this list different and what excites you most?
This is the Time 100 is always a reflection of the moment, and I think we live in a surprising moment, and the list is surprising as a result in really interesting ways. It's the youngest list we've ever had.
What does that mean?
It means we have 45 of the 100 people are under age 40.
Oh, great.
We also have Millie Bobby Brown, the youngest person ever on the list at 14, but I think it's a reflection of the changing ways that influence is wielded in our culture. It doesn't know a zip code or an age anymore.
Seems to be more women and more people of color.
There are.
From what I could see.
There are, and the list is a reflection of what's happening in the culture, what's happening in politics and business, and you see the changes we've all been watching with awe reflected in who's on it.
And when you talk about what's happening in the culture, let's be more specific. I mean, the information flows are democratized. It's no longer old white men who are the gatekeepers for things. In a way, the Time magazine of 1923 was a gatekeeper. Now, lots of these people are coming into the culture from all kinds of different angles.
It's much less, you see less the influence and impact of institutions and more the impact and influence of individuals.
Gregson, do you have the Parkland High School students?
Yes.
And Barack Obama wrote their introduction. I love the pairings that you do.
The pairings, we like to think of it as the Time 200 because we really do carefully choose the 100 people we ask to write and bring fresh light to some of these faces. In the case of the Parkland kids, new faces. And there are many people on the list who were not household names a year ago and are now. And Barack Obama writes, he said before the failure of common sense gun control was one of his greatest frustrations, really his single greatest frustration, and he writes with awe about what the kids have been able to accomplish.
Did he take edits, the president?
Well,
I was very minor edits.
Yes.
Edward, you also have many figures, key figures from the #MeToo movement. Why was it important to include some of them, including the reporters who broke many of these stories?
Jodi Kantor and Megan Toohey.
Indeed.
Yes, and
Jody's
Ronan
here
Farrow.
with us.
And
Ronan Farrow, right.
Despite it all, despite the attacks on the press, despite a lot of turmoil in the business of media, this has been an amazing year for journalists and for journalism, and we felt it was important to recognize the impact of people who bring these stories to light that wouldn't otherwise be told.
And how did you decide on the politicians that made the list? We saw Jeff Sessions made the list.
Well, it's been a crazy year, of course, in politics, and trying to figure out who from the administration should be on the list is a challenge because you never know exactly who's in the administration and who he's talking to. He shakes up his staff. He shakes up the routine of where he takes advice from. Some of the people we had from the administration on the list last year are gone. So it's a different list in that sense, too.
And this is not a Betty Crocker seal of approval. This is not a value judgment. You can have influence, whether it's good or bad influence, on any front.
Absolutely.
All right, looking forward to the big dinner. Are you?
I am.
Yeah.
I am. It'll be great.
It's always a very nice evening.
As always.
Congratulations.
Thank
to
you. Thanks for having me.